Please be aware, in this podcast series we talk about all areas of safeguarding, which some people may find upsetting. So please make sure you're okay listening to today's topic. Be mindful of those around you, such as children, that you might not want to listen in. Hi, I'm SSS Safeguarding Director Sam Preston.
And I'm former head teacher and content author Sara Spinks.
Today we're addressing a growing issue, the challenges faced by children with special educational needs and disabilities, or SEND, in the post-pandemic world. As we cautiously emerge from the pandemic, the impact on our education system is becoming increasingly apparent, especially for children with SEND. The return to school, once seen as a beacon of normalcy, has become a daunting challenge for so many. So, Sarah, why do you think this transition has been so difficult for these students?
Well, I think mainly the disruptions to routines, support systems and mental health well-being during the pandemic have left that sort of real significant mark. Many children who found a sense of security in the confinement of their homes are now overwhelmed by the bustling school environment. The noise, the crowds, it can be particularly stressful for children with SEND, and making the transition back to school has become very challenging.
That makes a lot of sense. During the pandemic, many needs were quite simply not met, weren't they? And, diagnoses were delayed, and as a result, support systems are now strained.
Yeah, and the repercussions are stark, Sam. Children with SEND are navigating an educational landscape that feels increasingly alienating. Before the pandemic, many schools supported a set number of children with educational health and care plans, or EHCPs, which outline additional support for students with special needs. Now, the number of students requiring support has skyrocketed, often beyond what each school can provide.
Yeah, and to compound that, there's the backlog I mentioned. Yeah. It just sounds like the system is really struggling to meet its duty of care. So I'm wondering, how is this impacting the students and their families? What are we seeing?
Well, many children with SEND are falling behind academically, grappling with behavioural issues and battling deteriorating mental health. The toll on both students and families is immense.
Yeah. There's some evidence of increase in self-harm and persistent absences becoming distressingly common. There's no doubt families are facing significant stress as they're trying to navigate these challenges with very limited support.
Yeah.
So the reality is services are depleted, waiting lists for assessments are growing, and mental health services are stretched. What are schools doing to support these students with their limited resources?
Well, schools are implementing some innovative strategies, really, despite the challenges, creating sensory-friendly environments, like having quiet spaces for children to retreat to if they feel overwhelmed, using visual schedules, provide structure and incorporating sensory breaks throughout the day. These are things that could be helpful. Personalised learning plans are also essential, tailoring the educational experience to each child's unique needs, but more needs doing, without a doubt.
Well, those sound like very practical steps. Wellbeing and mental health support in this context is vital. Again, we know external support mechanisms are stretched. So what can schools do?
Well, you're right, Sam. Mental health support is absolutely vital. Schools can provide access to counselling services, peer group support, mental health education. Educators need to be trained to recognise the signs of distress and know how to respond appropriately. And this can make a huge difference in supporting students' overall well-being. Many schools now have a designated or a senior mental health leader, which is, a vital role and very much needed in every school.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about working together to safeguard children, our multi-agency statutory guidance. Schools are just one of the multi-agencies charged with this duty of care. So what role does collaboration with external agencies play in this?
Well, I think collaboration with external agencies is key. Schools can't do it all alone. They just simply can't. Partnering with health services, social care and those specialised SEND organisations can provide a more comprehensive support network for students. This collaborative approach, therefore, would, ensure that students receive the holistic support they need, but they're so stretched.
Yeah. So given all these challenges, what can be done to better equip educators to, for now, handle this situation?
Well, ongoing professional development for educators is essential. Understanding the latest research and strategies for supporting children with SEND can empower teachers to be more effective in their roles. Training in mental health awareness, sensory processing issues, and individualised education plans can all contribute to a better support for students.
There seems to be a lot that needs to be done. What's the overarching message? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, Sarah, but what's the overarching message for stakeholders at all levels regarding supporting children with SEND post-pandemic?
Well, I think the overarching message is that we need a fundamental shift in how we support children with SEND, increased funding, resources, and a paradigm shift in the perception. They're really crucial. Stakeholders at all levels must prioritise the wellbeing and education of our most vulnerable learners to build an inclusive and equitable educational landscape that's fit for the future. Certainly, if I was coming into power now, there was additional monies that are coming in to increase the number of teachers. I'd be putting that funding into those support services that support around the edge of schools, because schools are stretched beyond anything at the moment.
Yeah, well, thanks for the insights there. I mean, there's no doubt these challenges are significant. We've highlighted some steps that we can take to support children with SEND in this post-pandemic world by fostering that inclusive environment, providing tailored support and ensuring robust mental health services. That's what we need to help these students thrive. Please do check out our website and YouTube channel where we've lots of resources. We've got top tip videos, etc. And of course, there is designated mental health lead and staff mental health and wellbeing awareness courses. They're available if you check out the SSS Learning website.